Melvin Saw, Chapter 4. By Thomas Miller. The air inside Redbrook had changed. It was thicker now, like the walls were breathing, like the whole building was alive. Nobody slept anymore. Melvin's followers patrolled the hallways, moving in slow, deliberate patterns. They didn't speak unless spoken to. They didn't eat unless Melvin ate. They didn't breathe unless he allowed it. And Melvin, he was waiting for whatever was coming. Somewhere deep in the abandoned wing, Dr. Lewis and the last holdouts were trying to stay sane. "We have to do something," whispered Marla, an ex-nurse who had managed to survive by hiding in the old medication room. "We can't just sit here." "There's nothing to do," Lewis muttered. "The phones are dead. The front doors won't open. And have you seen the windows? They don't look outside anymore. They just reflect." Curtis, one of Melvin's first converts, had been standing outside their barricade for 3 days. Not moving, not blinking, just watching. They could hear him whispering sometimes, muttering to himself, or maybe to something else. And then, just as suddenly as the whispers started, they stopped. A new sound took their place. A distant chuck-chuck-chuck. The chainsaw. Coming closer. Marla's breath hitched. No, not yet. The hallway light outside their barricade flickered once, twice, and then went out. Silence. A single dragging footstep. And then the chainsaw roared. Melvin didn't run. He didn't charge. He simply walked, chainsaw in hand, letting the sound of it drown out the last desperate sobs behind the barricade. He didn't need to rush, because they had nowhere to go. "Please," Lewis whispered, backing up against the farthest wall. "Melvin, you don't have to do this. You can still stop." Melvin tilted his head. "Stop the chainsaw." For a moment, there was hope. Then he smiled, and the walls of Redbrook shook. The lights flickered again, this time not from power failure, but from something else. Something outside. Something that had been watching. Something that had been waiting for him to be ready. Melvin dropped the chainsaw. He didn't need it anymore. He lifted his hands, palms up, and the ceiling cracked open. A voice, deep and hungry, spilled into the room, into every room. "You have called, and we have answered." And Melvin Saw, the boy with the chainsaw, the boy who took over Redbrook, laughed as the sky split apart.